How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff, not just One Piece. We cover plenty of manga on the channel, so stick around, check it out, see if anything else catches your interest. And before we get into it, I will have another video on One Piece coming out very soon. Kind of an interesting one, if you ask me. A little bit of a theory, a little bit of a discussion. So yeah, if you're interested, stick around. Maybe even hit that notification bell and you won't miss it. Anyway, getting into it. In chapter 1033, Shimotsuki Kozaburo basically said that cursed blades are not a thing. That's basically what weak people think of a sword with really high quality. It's dangerous because of how well it is made. It just makes it an extremely dangerous object, and therefore it makes weak people think it is cursed because people just constantly keep getting hurt by this thing. Well, it's just too damn good at its job. So, yeah, this is kind of strange and not something I ever thought we would hear in this series because, well, blades have done some weird things in this series. At least we've seen some people do some weird things with them, but we've seen people do weird things with a lot of things in the series. It's One Piece. But still, yeah, there's two things in particular I really want to bring up that makes you kind of question, is Shimotsuki Kozaburo right, or are there actually cursed blades out there? So one of the big ones is Zoro sensing the Sandai Katetsu. First, in Ipponmatsu's shop, he sensed it in the barrel and was like, I want this one. It's good black, sense it. Zoro, being a good swordsman, should probably be able to, well, I say good swordsman. Zoro being somebody who, lives and dies and breathes and eats by the sword. Do you think this man uses utensils? No, he eats with two-sword style. He uses one to cut it, and then he probably stabs the other one and eats it off his katana. That's probably how this man eats, if we're being honest. I know we don't see him do that, and we've seen him eat, but that's just Oda letting him be a little modest and not show this. So the Marienda scene with Katakuri eating donuts, that would be Zoro's that would be Zoro's scene for that. Somebody walks in and he's eating with two swords, and he's just like, ugh. This is the first time I've ever done this. I swear to God, I don't actually. Just shoves them back in the sheath real quick. Just picks up a knife and fork and starts eating real quick. That would be Zoro's scene. Anyway, we're getting a little bit off track. Anyway, Zoro, as somebody who lives and breathes swords, should be able to look at a barrel of swords and just pick out the best one, just kind of off sight. Let's be honest. He's like a supernatural level swordsman. All swordsmen in One Piece are the good ones are supernatural level. It's anime and manga. So yeah, we can explain that one away pretty easily. But more importantly, when Zoro was stuck in the chimney during Water 7 and Chopper came running up and he had the Sandai Katetsu on his back. Zoro was sitting in the chimney and he's like, Chopper, would you happen to have the Sandai Katetsu on you? And Chopper's just like, wait, what, sword? Yeah, it's your, how did you know that? He's like, oh, I don't know, I can just kind of sense it. This could actually kind of be explained away. And, well, I guess one, you could just say, lucky guess. If you really want to explain it away like that, sure, yeah, go ahead, lucky guess. But you could also actually say that Zoro, once again, being such a damn good swordsman who lives, eats, and breathes this stuff, granted, Sandai Katetsu was a rather new sword for him. He hadn't had it for a long period of time. At least not an extremely long period of time. Remember, all of pre-time skip One Piece did not happen over multiple years. That was a rather short period of time for how much content there is. So yeah, he hasn't had it for ever, but the amount that Zoro practices and holds and uses these swords, he gets very used to them. Every little nook and cranny and sound they make, he gets very, very used to them very quickly. Now, with him being stuck in a chimney and his head down there and his feet up at the top, acoustics probably not the greatest thing for Zoro. So he probably did not hear the slight clicks of Sandai Katetsu as it is rustling around on Chopper's back while he's running. But it is possible that maybe they were just loud enough for Zoro's ears to pick up on them whether he could consciously hear them or not. Maybe Zoro's brain subconsciously hears those sounds and goes, that's the same sound that Sandai makes when it's rustling around while I'm running. And then, consciously, Zoro, for some reason, thinks that Chopper might just have the Sandai Katetsu, Well, that's his unconscious brain telling his conscious brain, hey, I heard Sandai Katetsu near us. It's somewhere around us, and you want that back. So ask something, maybe. Chopper might have it. It was making a sound. Somebody was moving it. It's doing something. It's somewhere. Ask him. Then Zoro does. And it all of a sudden seems like this supernatural thing, but it could very well be just Zoro's unconscious mind knowing his blade so well that little click, that little sound of it wrestling around in the sheath while somebody's running with it could tell him it's there. So yeah, you can explain this away. Now, something a little bit weirder, and I have to preface this by saying I don't actually remember if we ever technically called Enma a cursed blade. We might have. It seems like it would have been one. It shows more signs of being like cursed, than anything else in the series. Even like the Katetsu blades. We haven't heard of them doing anything along the lines of literally stealing somebody's haki away from them and shriveling up their arm and possibly killing them if they don't let go and don't know how to stop it. That seems like a hell of a curse. I'm just saying. I don't know how we explain that away. Yeah, he said swords have personalities and you have to bend them to your will, and this was Enma like testing Zoro, but personality and being like a fully sentient being and being able to do something like steal haki. Okay, we have not seen people be able to just grab somebody and like suck their haki out, but Enma can do it. Shimotsuki Kozaburo, you're telling us there are no curse swords, and you made a sword that, I'm sorry, is clearly and undoubtedly cursed. I don't know how else you explain that. How? How do you explain that without it being a curse? That doesn't make sense. People can't even do that. What? Excuse me? No. So yeah, like I said, this is really weird and somebody can correct me down below if you do remember us calling it a curse blade. I don't remember if we have. There's a lot of stuff in One Piece. I forget something. Anyway, so yeah, it seems so weird that the guy saying that curse blades aren't a thing, curses don't exist with swords and whatnot, is the one who made the sword that is the hardest to prove it isn't cursed. You made the biggest outlier in this argument, Kozaburo. You gotta give me something. Why does your sword do this? Now, it would be really weird if when he made it, the sword didn't originally do it. Is this possibly a byproduct of how much haki Odin put into it? Like how often he put both conquerors and armament specifically into it? Maybe Mihawk doesn't really do that unless it is a worthy challenge. Like, you have to bring that out of him. Maybe Odin was just like, oh, I'm in a fight? Okay. Full force. Man, like, that seems like some Odin stuff. Odin didn't really seem to have any chill. You're like, fight me. And he's like, okay, have at it. And he just goes full force. That's Odin. Mihawk, a little bit more reserved. Like he said, he's not gonna use Yoru, the world's strongest blade, to hunt a rabbit. He's not going to use Conqueror's haki mixed with armament haki unless he has to. That's just not his style. He's not going to use his strongest attacks, his strongest blade form, I guess you could say, unless he needs to. He's not gonna. So yeah, maybe it's just a byproduct from how Odin handled the sword for so long? Maybe? I don't know. Still seems weird. Still seems kind of like a curse. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other ways I can like try to explain that without it being cursed. It's weird. Kozaburo, why did you do this? You are contradicting your own work. That is a curse. Stop it. I don't know. I wasn't really making this video to come to a conclusion on whether or not curses or curse swords actually do exist. I'm not trying to argue with Kozaburo. I just think Enma is a really weird case when we start talking a bit about this, now that we have had a very respectable opinion about swords given to us that contradicts the idea of Enma being cursed, and it just seems so damn cursed. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Give me your thoughts down in the comments below. I love talking to you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one. So I'll see you next time. I'm out.